Hello everyone, welcome to ET Studios, and today we're having a look at the Hero 6 Black from 2018, and we're going to see how it handles itself in 2020, and if it's still a good camera worth buying now. The camera features up to 4K 60fps capture, 12 megapixel photos, as well as image stabilization, and some other cool features such as voice activation. The camera has a pretty unique design, and as you know, all GoPros are waterproof as of the Hero 5, and you don't even need a case to make it waterproof. Let's do some testing. With stabilization on versus stabilization off on the right, you can see that the camera does brilliantly when I'm walking down this road, and I think it's absolutely fantastic how much the stabilization does when you're doing walking. Coming up now, we have some running, and as you can see, it does pretty well. It does jitter around a little bit, but it's much better than just having it off. Next up, we have some photos with linear mode versus wide angle, and you can see I've moved the frame up. It's a square image, but I've moved it up to the top of the frame so you can see how much that curvature is at the top. We also have a second photo here as well. This is linear, and now it is not. Now it's wide, and it's quite a big difference, and you can see how linear mode keeps the lines all straight, whereas the super view or wide mode makes it quite rounded on the edges, and you can see how the benches are also rounded. Next up, we also have some footage of just some flowers, and I'd like to see how the colors work. This is just standard settings with ProTune off, and I think it looks pretty good. It's a little tiny bit oversaturated. And now moving on to ProTune on with standard GoPro color. It's a little bit more flat, but I think this is pretty much what it was looking like. It was a bit overcast that day, and I think this is relatively close, if not ever so slightly oversaturated when I get closer. But I think leaving it just ProTune on is pretty good. Here we have a nice time-lapse, and I think it does really well. This is just the standard video time-lapse mode, and I think it pulled it off really nicely. Really cool sunset with the clouds moving there. Slow motion is also pretty good. Here is a rocket launch that I did, and that's 2.7K, but everything in this video has been brought back to 1080p. Here is the slow-mo version of that shot. It was shot in 120fps at 2.7K, and slowed down to 24 frames per second, which is a 5 times reduction at 20% speed. As you can see, it does a pretty good job of slowing it down, and it's a bit of a teaser for the next rocket video, which will be coming out on Sunday. This camera can also do 1080p at 240fps, and I'll be bringing some of that footage in when I do the comparison to the Hero 7 White, which will be coming up in a couple weeks' time. So keep an eye out for that if you want to see some 1080p 240fps capture. So overall, I really do think this camera is worth buy. It's actually about the same price as the Hero 7 Silver, in between the price of the white and the silver, and it's definitely worth it. It's apparently much better than both of them, and you'll see the comparison to the white pretty soon. I do recommend it because unlike the 7 White, it can do 4K, and you have so many more settings. So if you want to buy an action camera and you can't quite afford the brand new Hero 7 Black, I highly recommend the 6 Black because it is 100 times better than the silver and white models, and I can tell you that by just the short amount of testing I've done with the white so far. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.